Hello and welcome to the New York Sports Show. I'm your host, Dominic Konowski. We have NASCAR Whelen Modified Series driver Dave Sapienza on the phone. Dave, how are you? And welcome to the New York Sports Show.
Hey, Guy, how are you? Thank you so much.
I'm good, and thank you for being on. Now, Dave, you had an amazing 2020 season, career highs in a lot of categories. Yes, it was shortened due to the coronavirus, but do you feel like that's helped you and is going to power you through the 2021 season that's coming up?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with preparation that my crew chief and crew have put together. We've learned a lot in the past couple seasons. I was out for that short period of time with my injury to my back, so I had some time to sit back and kind of regroup a little bit, and just focus on just improving myself, getting better, and everything else. All our equipment is all up to date, quality stuff. We've learned a few things. Robbie Fuller has come up with a few changes on some of the the chassis with the Gen 2 and stuff like that. I know we had a real good start to the year. I got myself in a little bit of trouble towards the end of the year, not finishing races. I've never really had any equipment failure, just some mishaps. Got caught up in a couple of incidents, but other than that, I'm really looking forward to the season, especially the start of New Smyrna Speed Weeks. Trying a few things. I think we're going to go back there this year better than we were last year. So, but yeah, I got high expectations.
Yeah, yes, you suffered a serious back injury on the final lap of the 2019 War Stadium Race. Great to see you back racing. So, going into 2021, hopefully the Whelen Series starts off on time. What do you feel like you need to do to get in victory lane?
Pretty much like we did, last year. To really concentrate on how the cars reacted during practice, and just make all the right adjustment calls with my team. Tell them what we need here and there, and just really move forward and go that extra distance to really get the cars dialed in. Other than that, I'm in pretty good health right now. I'm probably in the best shape that I have been in years. I lost a few pounds. I always do that for racing season, and work out a little bit. I'm probably one of the older gentlemen on the tour, so I got to be able to rattle some feathers amongst the younger generation. But I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket this year and go for that win that I almost had last year.
Yeah, come so close so many times. 78 Whelen modified starts, and your numbers are good. 9 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and like I said last year, career highs for both an average starting and finishing position. So you're getting closer and closer, and it just seems like 2021 will be the climax, and you'll be in a victory lane. Now,
yeah, I'm really, I was never aware of the statistics, to tell you the truth, which is good that you brought that to my attention. I kind of like to look back, and I didn't really think I had that great of a season. When you don't win, you know you're not having a good season. But I know I was up in the front a bit. I ran some pretty decent races against a lot of talented drivers with a lot of more experience than myself. So.
Yeah, you finished 7th place in points, 1 top 5 and 4 top 10s, so with only 1 DNF, and in a series that's so competitive with drivers like Doug Hope and Justin Banks, and you were always up there, and it's really just a matter of time. Now,
yeah, a lot of people tell me that. A lot of people are pulling for me. I didn't really didn't realize the kind of the fan base that I got. I'm just an ordinary guy, just trying to have some fun and knock that one off. Put that one into myself. But when you're out there racing against them guys, and you realize, that those guys come from a whole different echelon of driving. They've been doing that since they were little boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of the series that we're in, since they were kids. I started at a later age, and but as long as you keep yourself determined, and like I said, I can't thank my crew enough. I mean, besides Tommy Grasso, his brother Danny, Danny, my nephew Timmy, Kyle and Alex, and this year my buddy Dave Royce is coming on for Speed Weeks, and Rob Fuller, of course, because his engineering and his design on some of these cars are really starting to show their strength compared to some of the other stuff that's out there. And it's kind of cool, because going from year to year and picking up on some skills and some new engineering is something to look forward to. It's going to be very competitive this year. A lot of people changed chassis. A lot of people went with the Furies. I know Robbie owns LFR and TFR. So there's a lot in the works for a lot of teams. But I think we're going to have a good start to the year, especially going to tracks that we've never been to before, because, like I said, when we go to tracks that we've never been to before, we usually benefit from that. I don't know why, but I kind of take that as a little bit of a challenge for me, and it seems to work out. So I kind of like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, speaking of tracks, you race that a lot. Now, what track would you say is your favorite to race at?
Right now, I would have to say Jennerstown, because that's where I did my most impressive driving this past season. Like I said, it was a track I've never been to before. Last year, we were there twice, and being there the first time, we qualified well and we ran well. We just didn't finish well at the end there. But going back a second time and starting on the outside pole and running up in the front the whole day, the car was unbelievable. And the track, it might be challenging for some, but I didn't feel like I had to work too hard behind the wheel of the car. I mean, it drove itself. It was so good, and the track is so swooping and with swooping wide turns, and it was just a real great, basically a great day. In racing for myself, it's just a great feeling to come that close.
Yeah, what a race that was at Jennerstown. Now, your car, the paint scheme has to be one of, if not the best in the grid. What kind of color is that? Did you have a name for it?
Well, we called it Chameleon. Actually, we got notice from NASCAR that we're not allowed to use that anymore in the series. They don't want the reflective numbers or the metallic-y flashes and the color changing. I guess it's either confusing or distracting. I don't know the actual name of it. I've heard people tell what it was, but we just called it Chameleon. I mean, it was a big hit. I like to have nice looking equipment, things that people will remember. And we're going to actually use that vehicle in New Smyrna, because that's probably the only place we're going to be able to use it again. That and maybe some of the open shows. But on the tour, we're not going to be able to have that anymore. I was already told that we're not going to allow it.
Well, people will really remember that paint scheme for when it was on the track in the Whelen series. Now, just one more question. When you're not going to be racing in the Whelen series, do you plan at racing at Riverhead? You raced there a lot, didn't do much in 2020. Are you going to try to go back there for full time?
What it was is actually that you mentioned that this morning. The car that I was driving for Joe Ambrose is a car that he kind of put together for me to use at Riverhead. All my equipment is at Tommy Grasso's up in Connecticut. So it's going to be tough to run Riverhead this year depending on any of the conflicting weekends because most of our tour races are going to be on a Saturday, except for the one in Martinsville. I wouldn't mind going back. I'll be using someone else's equipment. I might run a few shows there just to, play around on a Saturday. If not, I'll be at Sap Enterprises working to pay for my, racing season. But I'm thinking about it. If the opportunity comes where we have a Saturday where we can go right here in Riverhead, I mean, it's only a couple miles from my house and my business, actually. And then, I would like to get back to Riverhead and have some fun with the boys on a Saturday night.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're able to get down there. Now, is there anything else you would like to say to the people watching this?
No, I'd like to say thanks. I mean, it's an honor to look at some of the stuff that I see on social media. I mean, I get a little bit of attention, and it makes you feel good, I always consider myself not a no-name, but someone that's not on the top of the charts for contending for a championship. But it's nice to contend for some wins, and a lot of people have faith in me. I got faith in myself. But it's definitely an encouraging. It makes you want to move a little bit more forward and get that win that I've been expecting to come. It's not easy, that's for sure. But like I said, it's definitely an encouraging thing to see how many people out there that really pay attention to the series.
Yeah,
and how much suppressed that I get. It's a feel good,
Yeah, well, trust me when I say you have a lot of fans out there rooting for you week in and week out. Thank you for being on, folks. Once again, that is NASCAR Whelen Modified Series driver Dave Sapienza. Dave, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.